So what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Today we're doing something pretty cool. What we're doing is we are moving the cows onto where we planted our Sorghum Sudangrass. Sorghum Sudangrass, it's a summer annual. Sometimes it can get up to 12 feet tall and it just goes ballistic. It's kind of like a relative to corn, to where it just grows up. So we seeded that out over 2 months ago and we're ready to put the cows on it. And the only problem is that the cows, they are approximately 800 feet away in a different paddock on the other side of the farm. So we have to walk them all the way back. And when you're moving cows by yourself that far, always gets a little bit interesting. So come along. Well, here goes nothing. Hey, cows! Come on, cows, come on! Come on, cows! Come on, cows, come on! Come on, cows! Here we go. Come on, cows, come on! Come on, cows!
There's a world that's hidden. There's a world that's unseen. There's a one I imagine, and that's a whole nother thing. There's a noise I can tune out. There's a song that I sing. There's a sound I create, and that's a whole nother thing. I got a mental TV and a soul radio, where I dance with Mozart and paint with Van Gogh. At the far end of the dial, heaven waits in the wing, in touch with my inner child. That's a whole nother thing. They tell us to grow up, and they tell us not to dream. We forget how to love. That's a whole nother thing. And I got a mental TV and a soul radio, where I dance with Mozart, paint with Van Gogh. At the far end of the dial, heaven waits in the wing, in touch with my inner child, and that's a whole nother thing. In the Lord of the Rings, that's a whole nother thing. At the far end of the dial, heaven waits in the wings, in touch with my inner child, and that's a whole nother thing, and that's a whole nother thing.
Alright, so this is what they're moving on to right here. This is how our Sorghum Sudangrass that was just overseeded turned out. Turned out okay. Look at Ellie, she's getting lost in some of it. Turned out okay, well, not nearly as well as I'd like to have to, but that's what this is what it came out to be. See, I overseeded this, and I overseeded this, then I moved the cows on here thinking that they would trample in the seed, and it was on a kind of a wetter day that they were in here. This is a low spot. That's why I wanted to add the Sorghum Sudan, because I was thinking, okay, it's going to add a lot of carbon to a low spot. Well, we just had a huge patch of goat weed grow up where I thought that would happen, so that didn't really necessarily work. So I would say that's a B+ on idea, F on execution. I mean, it just didn't go. It just didn't do it the way that I wanted it to. I mean, it's blotchy of the Sorghum Sudan. I put 50 pounds on here, this paddock here. You can see it It goes from that right there in that fence post all the way down, and from that fence post all the way down. So it didn't necessarily go nearly as well as I'd liked it to, but it's still something for the cows to graze on. And you can see Chocolate Chip right there, you know, he's not minding it. He goes, oh, this is a smorgasbord still. Well, it's okay. Now, one of the issues with doing the Sorghum Sudangrass is there's something called prussic acid poisoning. And you only really have to worry about that when the grass is lower than 18 inches. This, much taller than 18 inches. It's probably closer to 18 feet than 18 inches. Okay, so we're not going to have an issue with that. Now, one other thing I'm a little bit concerned with, but since it's really splotchy and there's not, you know, it's a full stand of it, is the nitrates. So there shouldn't be any issue. They seem to be eating on it just fine. I mean, yeah, it only happened 5 minutes ago, but still, it's okay. It's not look, there's patches right there where there's 0, and there's patches right here where it's full. I mean, that's just what happens. I don't know if it was the soil, I don't know if it was the seeding method, I don't know if it was whatever, but it just didn't come up like I'd like it to. So when the cows are out of here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the mower and just mow down this entire paddock. Well, maybe not the entire part, probably the top half of it. We'll say this half. The bottom is actually pretty okay, but we want to get rid of this goat weed. I was thinking, one of the things that I was thinking when we seeded this is that since the Sorghum Sudan is so just prolific and just grows up so much, that it actually might shade out the goat weed. Well, that didn't happen. That did not happen at all. Why? Maybe wrong time, maybe wrong something, I don't know, but we tried it, didn't work. So is this worth the effort to do? This time around, no. If we tweak things and try things a little bit differently, it might be. So we might try it again, but for now, we're just gonna let the cows eat on it. And Scarlet there, like you can see her, she's got a mouthful of it. That stuff's super sweet to them. They really do like it. And the cows are gonna do pretty good on it. Look, come on, get it, baby. Oh, she's trying to reach the top leaf. She couldn't reach it. That's Dolly. But look, Skywalker, there he is right there. If he walked over here, he could disappear in there. That's pretty cool. Grass way taller than the cows. That's something that, and besides the Indian grass that we have out here, that's probably something that they've never had before, that never had to experience. So just a cool little experiment. Like I said, didn't go necessarily according to plan, because we have a lot of this here. But hopefully there's enough underneath there that maybe they can trample some of it before I clip it. So they're gonna stay in here a day. Gonna check on them later and see how they're doing with it. I'm sure that all the tops are gonna be gone from this. They're happy with that. But I don't think that they're gonna trample too much of this. So we're gonna come through and just clip it off, because this right here, we're gonna run to the other side. It's the same draw that this is in. That's why it gets a little bit wet here. Look at the difference. Full of goat weed. We clipped this maybe about a month ago now, maybe longer actually, and it's growing back up. And if you saw in our last video, one of our last videos, that right there is the patch of switchgrass that is growing up. It's growing all right along here. So if we were to get rid of the goat weed, this little valley, maybe the switchgrass will continue. That'd be great. But we've also had some, you guys can see it right there. We've also had some pig issues over here. We had a couple of stalks in here, like 12 feet tall. I mean, it was about twice as tall as I am, 6'3", and there's no way that even if I jumped, I could touch the top of it. And what happened was that the pigs came in, the wild ones that we have around here, they're just a nuisance. They came in and disturbed all around where it was, and they probably ate some of it, and they probably ate some of the Sorghum Sudan. So that didn't help. That's why you can see, like, there's big issue. But it's a learning experience. We might try it again. It's not it's not something that I can say it's a resounding success that we'll do again for sure. But Scarlett's pretty happy on it right there. Look at her. There's Jordan, there's sheep. Everybody's like, hey, you know what? This is there's not much of it, but there's a lot of candy here that we're gonna go after right away. If you notice, they're all really staying on the Sorghum Sudan. There's a couple that went out over there, but Ellie already got her full of it. Look at that. Look, watch how they eat though. Watch how they eat. This is actually really intriguing. See, look, they take a bite and then they leave it. They only take the top third. Even when it's that tall, they only take the top part. Now, will they come back for a second bite? Yeah, they probably will on something like that. Now, will they go for a third? Probably not. And I actually don't want them to go for the third because that's when they can get issues down at the bottom with this type of grass. So we're just gonna graze it today, and then tomorrow they're moving on to the next paddock, and then this is all gonna get mowed down, and hopefully add a ton of carbon to this low spot right here that we're trying to fix with it. Just another note, hopefully you guys know this if you're thinking about doing sorghum Sudan, but also in the frost. After the first frost, you gotta wait 2-3 weeks for it to dry down completely, because then you're gonna have another prussic acid poisoning, and that happens a lot quicker than when it's just growing up. So be careful with this grass. You don't want cows or any animals to get hurt because of it. It's a hybrid. Just an experiment. Jordan seems to be the one that likes the sorghum Sudan the most. See him go, and he took out basically this whole area right around him, just leaf by leaf like that. Really funny. Look how good of a bull he's looking like. Big belly, small, just good stature, good gonads. Man, I can't wait to see what calves we get out of him. So that's our sorghum Sudangrass experiment. I mean, went okay, I guess. Might try it again a different way. But the normal way to plant this stuff is to go and, you know, till the ground, plant the seed in about, what, inch and a half down. Then it grows up, and the next thing you know, you have this big old wall of sorghum Sudangrass. Most people use that for like silage, baleage, whatever. Tried using it here just as an overseed because I'm not tilling up this ground. There's no way. You know, to till up the ground, you know, you're causing all kinds of issues. And you know what? When in the wintertime when it's gone, guess what? It's going to be bare. So I'd rather have it covered during the winter and see what we could grow up. And it was, you know, enough for them to get a couple bites. Nothing crazy. Like over there, it's a little bit better. But it was supposed to help suppress the weeds, but it looks like it just made the weeds grow up more because I kept them in here a little bit too long because I was trying to trample. Huh, Daphne? Look how shiny and good she looks now. She's almost all the way back. She's our comeback cow. But gonna come in here, mow this all down because that's what we don't want right there. That's chocolate chip, one of our steers, almost covered in goat weed. Ugh. So to keep following along with our journey, hit that subscribe button down below, ring the notification bell so you get notified when we put up new videos, hit the like button because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm, and drop a comment if you like. All right, till next time, see ya.
There's a world that's hidden, there's a world that's unseen, there's a one I imagine, and that's a whole another thing. There's a noise I can tune out, there's a song that I sing, there's a sound I create, and that's a whole another thing. I got a mental TV and a soul radio. We write dance with Mozart and paint with Van Gogh at the far end of the dial. Heaven waits in the wing, touch with my inner child. That's a whole another thing.